Hello, beginning farmer friends. It is windy out again, of course. It's spring in Iowa, which means it's windy. I've got an ear tag because we just had a little bull calf born. That's a good thing because last year we didn't have very many bull calves born. This year we have had more bull calves born, which is good because, I don't know, I just always have a hard time using the heifers as beef animals. And so we need more beef animals. I'm going to tag this bull calf right here. It's going to be number 24. Oh, where are you going? But I am almost positive that I cannot tag this bull calf that's running away from me and use the camera at the same time. I'll see what I can do. Alright, that seems like that mostly worked. It was quick, it was easy, the calf is doing well. That was the idea. We also had a heifer calf born the other day as well. I think that gives us 6 calves for 2021. 5 of them out here with their moms, and then the one bottle calf, the heifer that we have inside, whose mom we lost, the cow we lost. But all of them seem to be doing really well. They're growing well. We are still obviously in the winter lot. It's just, you know, the beginning of April. We don't get out on the pasture quite yet. The grass needs to grow a little bit. It's going to be lows in the 30s, like mid 30s this coming week. So the grass is green, but not growing a ton yet. This is the heifer calf. She doesn't want to get up. She's tired. She's just going to lay there. One more thing about the cows. I did want to sell quite a few cows this spring. It hasn't worked out the way I wanted it to yet, though. It seems like the bull calves that we're having, which we're glad to have bull calves, are coming from the cows that I want to sell. So I don't want to sell those cows because I've got the bull calves. The heifers that we're getting, those are coming from cows that I want to keep. So otherwise, I would be selling some heifer calf pairs, but that's not going to happen. Other things going on in the shed here. We've got some fair pigs, some Hereford pigs in the individual pens. We've got a couple lambs down here. There's lambs down there by the calf. There's all sorts of stuff going on in the shed. I do have a confession that I need to make, though, and I just need to come clean. The confession is this. It has been well over a week since I've recorded one of these beginning farmer videos. It was either the auction that I went to or the ditch burning, which was actually the last video that I released, but I just put out a video yesterday, and so there's still been videos coming out. There just hasn't been anything that I've videoed since either one of those things. And honestly, it's just sometimes it's hard to sit down and record a video. My hope for this channel is that I can share the realities of farming. I have always wanted to be a storyteller, and I guess I just want to tell the story of our farm and share that experience with a ton of other people. I don't have big equipment. I'm not a huge regenerative or sustainable or whatever tag word you want to put on it farmer. I'm not the Joel Solitons of the world or the White Oak Pastures of the world, or I'm just not out there in huge ways like that. And so what I'm sharing, I kind of hope and feel like, is the realities of a 41-year-old with 6 kids, ages 3 to 17, and a 40-acre farm, trying to do whatever it is he can figure out how to do. So no videos, but there have been videos, but there's a big gap in what's happening on the farm. And so there's a lot of things that I have to show you to update you with. I might do that today, I might not, because I'm gonna do like something very big time farmery. I'm going to work on tillage equipment. I was using my little harrow the other day, or my little spring tooth harrow, or my little spring tooth field cultivator, whatever you want to call it, probably a field cultivator. And I was missing some of these shovels. And so I thought, well, I'm going to replace some of those. And I looked underneath, and there was actually a number underneath, a John Deere number. So I went to my local John Deere number, and I got the exact same things. Just check this out. This is the difference. You know, I thought that there was no big deal with these. I just needed to replace some of the ones that were missing until I looked at what they were supposed to look like. Crazy big difference there. So I'm going to go out and replace some of these. I did not get as many as this little 3-point field cultivator has. I got a dozen. My idea is to put them on the front of the field cultivator and then let the back ones take the best of what's left. See if that works a little bit better, gets it in the ground. Basically, I want to work up and reseed a place in the pasture where the pigs have been. So I've got shovels, I've got nuts, I've got washers, and I've got bolts. Let's go find some tools and get to work. All right, I finally got the front row off. Unfortunately, when whoever changed these shovels before, when they did it, they did not use the proper size bolts. They did not use the proper bolts, I guess I should say. They used just a regular carriage bolt instead of a shank bolt that gets in there farther into these squares right here so that I could get it out. But I was able to use the Sawzall, cut it off. I did go get some safety glasses because that seemed like the best thing to do. I've got a dilemma though. Let me show you what my dilemma is, and then I've got to make a decision. The issue that I have is that this is an old cultivator. It's probably, I don't know, it could even be homemade. I can't find any of these tines because if you look right here, these shanks, I guess, tines, whatever you want to call them, this one is broken. It's got one hole up here. This one's got two. So do I put them all so they're even, which would put it like this? Or do I put this one down here and this one just where it is as best you can? The other issue is I think these are like 43-degree shanks or something, or 43-degree shovels, something like that. I don't think that that's what the angle that this is. So if I put this all the way up where it's supposed to be to have two bolts in it, then this little piece down here, it's almost even with this. So as it wears away towards the back, then all of a sudden, I think, I don't know, let me go get an old one that's worn out. I think what happens then is, you see I've got this shank is actually sticking out below the shovel, which doesn't seem like a good idea. So I think what's going to happen is we're just going to put them down as far as they can go and hope that works, if you know what I mean. Well, that didn't exactly turn out how I wanted it to. What I had planned on doing was taking the best shanks or shovels, this is one of the better ones, and putting those on the back where there are some really worn out ones, but with everything being just kind of weird on the back with carriage bolts instead of these right bolts that fit down in there really well so I could get it off with the impact or the wrench or anything like that, I'm just not going to do it. I also have to tighten some of these tines, but again, I don't have exactly what I need, that being a 3/4 socket for my impact driver. I couldn't get those off. I also noticed over here that there are a couple places like this right here where it wouldn't hurt to hit it with some weld. So I think what's going to happen is this is going to end up going down on the trailer to my cousin's shop where there's a torch. We can get off these back ones. We can tighten these tines right here and we can put some weld on there. I'm also wondering, I wonder how well these would work for blacksmithing. I should probably save these, let my son pound on them a little bit this summer. I think we should try this out though, because what's the point of doing all the work if you can't try it out? This ground that I'm working up is a pig pasture that just needs to be reseeded, and it would have been nice to reseed it earlier than this, but it's also kind of on the edge of the woods in one of the wetter parts of our farm, so this is one of the first times that it's actually been dry enough to get into. I went around and scratched around in it a little bit yesterday. I do need to come out and take down some fence before I get crazy here, but I wanted to make sure that I had the tillage tool that I needed before I got all crazy and tearing everything down and fence and I don't know. And besides that, just sometimes in the spring, you like to get out and do a little tillage. You like to turn some dirt over, put some seed in the ground, make things grow. It's just all part of that newness of spring. this isn't really the ideal piece of equipment for what I want to do. Actually, what would probably work best would be a light disking, and then coming in with this field cultivator, smoothing everything out, the harrow, smoothing it out even more, and then seeding it, cultipacking it down. That's probably what I need to do. The problem is the disc is down south at my cousin's. I could go get it, I guess. I mean, he's out of the state as far as I know, so I don't know how he would even know that I have the disc. It's not even technically his, I don't think. I mean, it might be my uncle's, and my uncle is out of the state too, so he wouldn't even know. I don't know. I'm gonna fool around with this just for a few more minutes, and then I wanna walk around and tell you what's gonna happen out in this pasture. I've been formulating a plan in my mind as I've been working today. It's not working up terribly bad, and these new shovels are making a huge difference compared to yesterday. It is still a little bit wet. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little bit clumpy and a little bit wet still. But I still think a disc would be ideal. This is what is going to happen, what needs to happen. I need to smooth out a lot of these areas, and this is the wettest part right here. But I want to come in with a disc hopefully and smooth out a lot of these areas. And then I want to come in with that chainsaw attachment on my little brush cutter, my Steel FS130. And I want to cut down all of these little junk shrubs that are right on the edge. The pigs have really done a pretty good job. There's a few of them in the interior of the woods, but the pigs have done a really good job of clearing it out on the interior of the woods. I want to take care of the stuff on the edge, which seems to be where it's building up the most. I need to tear down that shed that's right over there. That's where I took the steel the other day when I put it on the chicken wagon, and then salvage whatever can be salvaged off of that. It's all falling apart and is not a movable shed anymore like it was designed to do. And then I'm going to come in and just seed a whole bunch of stuff. I haven't got everything figured out yet. We're going to seed some brassicas, some clovers, some oats, just a bunch of annuals and perennials into this. Get it worked up and just let it kind of lay for a while. Don't put the pigs on it right away until we've got a good base, and then kind of flash the pigs in at different times throughout the season. That's my idea. I'll bring you along on the ride, of course, when it comes to that. I see that my battery is about ready to die on this camera, so I guess what I want to say is thank you so much for watching. All of you that take the time to watch every week when I put out videos multiple times a week, I really appreciate you, and I thank you so much. I hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Maybe you're even getting to spend some time in a John Deere tractor like I am. That is a good day.